G'day all, welcome to the Yorke Peninsula, a beautiful part of South Australia where I've spent many a days creating memories, not just as a child, but later on in life with my own two beautiful daughters.
It's an agriculturally rich area, covered in farmland, with small pockets of remnant vegetation dotted across the landscape, and the large, but beautiful Dilba Gurunda Innes National Park at the base of the peninsula. From its mangrove-covered sandflats, white sandy beaches, rugged and at times deadly coastline, the ocean surrounds three sides of the Yorke Peninsula, the wildlife both beautiful and diverse within its many varied and scattered habitats. It wasn't long before I came across my first creature, a crab. These Haswell shore crabs, out in numbers and surprisingly out in the open in the morning light. I say surprisingly because you would think they would be easy pickings for the many bird species inhabiting the shoreline. However, although small, maybe their oversized claws are a deterrent to any hungry predator. But one thing's apparent, they don't seem scared and are up for the fight, with many defiantly putting up their claws as if to say, "Come on then, come fight me." Growing to around 3 centimetres, Haswell shore crabs inhabit tidal flats where they live in burrows up to 30 to 40 centimetres deep. Along with the emu, the western grey kangaroo is one of the largest land-based inhabitants of the Yorke Peninsula. This one attempting to find some respite in the lush green growth, however being relentlessly pursued by flies. But maybe the beautiful sea views are worth the annoyance. Balancing on a branch in the morning sun is this beautiful but normally shy-brushed bronze-winged pigeon, a relatively small stocky bird named for its iridescent bars on each wing, highlighted when the bird turns around and the morning sun catches the bars at the right angle, reflecting the light and creating these amazing colours. This amazing spectacle of nature is called structural coloration. Just like the next two birds, structural coloration can not only be found on many of our bird species, but a large number of wildlife found throughout the world. A male variegated fairy wren, not only showing off his structural coloration, but his very brightly iridescent breeding plumage. Variegated fairy wrens are a perfect example of the contrasting colour difference between male and female, known as sexual dimorphism. Highlighted by these two pictures, with the female variegated fairy wren on the left and the male on the right, sexual dimorphism is the condition where sexes of the same species exhibit different morphological characteristics, which may include colour, markings and size. A shiny bronze cuckoo, looking splendid as a jewel of the sky, in its full breeding plumage, its dazzling structural coloration on full display. A small bird with a deadly secret. As with all cuckoos, they don't raise their own young, instead laying a single egg in the nest of other birds. Prior to laying her egg, while the unsuspecting host birds are being distracted, the female will even up the egg count by discarding an original egg and laying one of her own. Often different size and colour, the egg of the shiny bronze cuckoo will be incubated and the chicks raised by the host birds as one of their own. A bird always on the move are the silver eyes, found in pairs or small groups, following each other around from tree to tree. A red wattle bird, the second largest species of honeyeater in Australia, with only the yellow wattle bird being the largest, named for its pinkish red wattles either side of its neck. Wattles are fleshy structures of an animal's anatomy and are found on a large variety of wildlife, including domesticated animals such as chickens and turkeys. A very recognisable and widespread bird in South Australia, and one that is adaptable to a wide variety of habitats, and a frequent backyard visitor, the New Holland Honeyeater. Its unusual white iris unmistakable against the black of the bird's head, and a dash of yellow on the wing, complementing its black and white body. An adult New Holland Honeyeater with a juvenile, the juvenile being slightly smaller and identifiable by its immature yellow nape and dark coloured iris, compared to the white iris of the mature bird. And these two, enjoying their views from the vantage point of this spindly mallee branch. Another species of honeyeater, the purple-gaped honeyeater. Unlike the New Holland honeyeater, not as widespread, with this species inhabiting low eucalypt woodland in semi-arid areas of South Australia. Spiny-cheeked honeyeater. Difficult to appreciate the beauty of this bird in such a quick video. However, I managed to get a photo showing its beautiful patterns of cream, browns and tans, complemented by its pink and amazing blue of the iris. A bird found across the entire Australian continent is Willie Wagtail, a small, aggressive and territorial bird willing to take on trespassers that are much larger. This Willie Wagtail out surveying the land, keeping a close eye on its surroundings, ready to sound the alarm on any advancement on its territory. As this small black and white flycatcher, along with its mate, is in nest building mode. Normally pairing for life, nests are woven together using fibrous materials such as dry grass, animal fur and even spiderweb. Notice this one adding the material to the nest, then moulding the nest into shape by pushing it out with the feet, before giving it a test fit. As the task of nest building is under time constraints, it's off to gather more material, bringing in small amounts at a time to construct this small cup-shaped nest, making many trips back and forth, weaving in material layer by layer, until the suitable shape and depth is reached. Not very good video footage of golden whistler, as 1 second the bird's right in front of you, however by the time you're ready to take the shot it's gone. But not all is lost, as I managed to get some good still shots of this beautiful bird. Singing honeyeater busily gathering a meal. A widespread bird found across the entire Australian continent. An omnivorous bird with the taste for not only nectar, but insects, fruits, and even the eggs and chicks of other birds. Even once the sun has set, there are nocturnal creatures starting to appear. A wolf spider, a sit and pounce predator waiting for a meal to unknowingly walk by. Horny frogmouth quietly sitting on a fence post. Scientific name Podargus strigoides, this bird is my favourite bird of the night. Everything about this bird is large, its head, its beak, and those striking yellow eyes. I have featured these adorable birds in a number of videos, which I will leave a link to in the description. By far the tallest bird, not only in South Australia but the entire Australian continent, is the emu. In fact, the only bird taller is the ostrich. A flightless bird with 3 toes, long skinny legs, big robust body, thin neck leading to a small head, and a pointed beak. Emu eyes are protected by nictitating membranes, which this juvenile is giving us a good view of. These membranes are a secondary eyelid and have the function of protecting the eyes from dust, or in this case shaggy feathers that may potentially poke the eye. Emus are highly nomadic birds, wandering around the bush grazing on seeds, plant materials and insects, making this bird omnivorous. An interesting fact on the emu is that the female has nothing to do with incubating or raising the chicks. Once the eggs are laid, the female will wander off, leaving the male to complete the tasks. Hope you enjoyed this look into a small fraction of the wildlife on the Yorke Peninsula here in South Australia. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like to see more nature-based videos. Thanks for watching.